folks, I'm back again for this week's installment of Answer in 5 by A to Z Cosplay. I decided to continue this, maybe make it a tradition after I just received such an overwhelmingly positive response to last week's video blog about my favorite underrated movie, Gangster Squad. With almost 9 people watching the video. Yeah, I mean, how can you say no to your audience when you've received just that overwhelming of a mandate to continue? So this week's question is, what is your bucket list? I've had the opportunity to do a lot of really extraordinary things in my life. When I was in the Army, I had the opportunity to go do parachute training, which for somebody who historically was afraid of heights, the fact that I was able to do that was really, really key into me overcoming that. I've been married for the last several years to just the most extraordinarily wonderful woman on the face of the planet. I gotta tell you guys, find the right woman under the right circumstances, and being married, it's just the best way to be. It really, really is. I've had the opportunity to travel extensively. I've been to 48 of the 50 states. Alaska, Oregon, I'm coming for you. I've lived, not just visited, but I've actually had the opportunity to live in Europe and Asia. And rather inexplicably, and I'm still not 100% sure how this happened, I graduated college, and I actually graduated college with a fairly respectable GPA. So, beyond continuing to travel, the biggest thing that I want to do right now is finish writing my book. I'm working on a book that's a semi-fictionalized accounting of some of my experiences when I was a cab driver. I drove a taxi cab in Orlando for 4 years, and I regularly work some of the less desirable neighborhoods in the city. I know a lot of people, they think of Orlando, they think of Disney, they think of downtown, they think of Universal and all the attractions. But Orlando is still a city of a little over 2 million people in the metro, and that lends itself to a diversity that you would see in any medium-sized city. Especially as a young cab driver, and even when I was more seasoned, I continued to work a lot of the less desirable locations because very, very few people would work places like Paramore or Pine Hills or Mercy Drive because there was some, I guess, inherent danger into that. But there are so many cab drivers in the city that I could go into those areas and I could work and have less competition than if I was trying to work someplace like the University, or if I was trying to work Winter Park or Lake Mary, which are some of the more upscale neighborhoods here in Orlando. And the story, it's an accounting of not just the more dramatic events, and don't get me wrong, there were certainly plenty of those, but also I'm including the humorous events, and there were some very, very funny encounters that I had, and just some of the interesting, unusual things that go on when you're a cab driver for that long in a city like Orlando. So that is my next great goal, especially because I am such a lover of literature and of the written word, and especially of science fiction. Contact by Carl Sagan, Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, those were probably two of the most profound books that I read as a teenager, and even as an adult. Robert Heinlein, Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Asimov rank as some of the most influential authors in my life. And right now I'm actually reading Nick Offerman's book Gumption, and I would highly recommend it to you. I know most of you know him as the funny guy from Parks and Recreation. He actually has a lot of really, really interesting ideas to write, and he's a very talented writer. So that's really my goal at this point, is to finish my book and maybe not end up on the same level as Heinlein and Clarke, but just to be able to say that I completed it, here it is. I've made something that didn't exist before. It is a work purely of my own creation and my own creativity. Unless I could convince Karen Gillan to, run off with me. I think we can find a better picture of her. There you go. So, I'll see you guys next week, and carry on. Taxi driver! Taxi driver! Taxi driver!